Captain's log, July 23rd, 12:30 at night. It still throws me off how 12:30 at night is AM and not PM because like numerically 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way through 11 is PM, and then 12 that's going up, but suddenly it's AM instead of PM. Like, why can't we change it? Can we just come together as a species and change that one thing, because it really drives me crazy. Okay, so anyways, it's been a while since I did my Captain's Log updates because life has been crazy. I went to Japan for a month. It was amazing. It was fantastic. I haven't downloaded all my images, but I can tell you that there's over 10,000 of them. So it's gonna take me a while. There might actually be, there might be close to twice that, but I haven't counted yet. So, and I ain't telling you how many videos I've taken. Let's just say that I have filled up all of my hard drives and my file server. And we've got to do something about that. But yeah, I came back home from Japan sick with an allergy thing that turned into an ear infection. And then there were some other things that happened. And then I had crazy dental drama I've calmed down a little bit. It's been like a week. It's been a week. If you want to see me really angry, go follow my personal TikTok, Mist in Love, on TikTok, because it's friends only. You can hear me vent about a particular dentist that basically wanted to do work on 2/3 of my mouth for over $10,000. I mean, it went from 2 months ago, her telling me that I needed 3 crowns and some fillings, to 2 months later, it's 8 crowns, possibly 2 root canals. Anyways, long story short, I drove all the way to Ohio for an emergency consultation with my new dentist up here. And the story was completely different. I just need a few fillings right now. I might need some crowns eventually, but I'm okay. It's only gonna cost me $60, not $10,000. So that's great. But at the same time, makes me very angry at this other dentist. I feel like I avoided a butcher. I want to keep my natural teeth as long as possible. So, anyways, I had not planned to come to Ohio, but because of that, I did. And it's a good thing that I did, even though I hate the drive, because you know what? I saved $10,000. Well, my husband says it doesn't work that way, but I'm like, I saved $10,000. So I went on a thrift store shopping spree and spent a few $100s. Got a new wardrobe. It's awesome. Man, people that don't shop at thrift store, let me tell you, find fun stuff, unique stuff, so inexpensive, and yeah, it's unique. So go do it. It's fun. It's like treasure hunting. It's treasure hunting. I love it. And anyway, so I won't be back. I'm going to leave tomorrow or the next day to go back to Alabama, and I won't be back until probably the end of September. So I'm trying to do and find everything that I need up here while I'm up here. And it makes me sad because every time, like, I love my home in Alabama. I love it so much. But every time I do get up here, I just want to stay. I just want to stay and settle in and nest. But I can't stay because I've got to go back to Alabama to finish some work on that house and for some obligations that I still have in the South. And man, I can't believe that it's taken me almost, I mean, it hasn't quite been 2 years since Carl moved to Ohio, but it's taken me almost 2 years to try and like cut ties and finish up loose ends and stuff in the South, and get work done and stuff on the house. But it's almost there. It's almost there, and I think I will finally be living in Ohio most of the time later this fall. But and I'm sad to leave though, because like all of my stuff is up here, pretty much all of my stuff, and I'm finally getting my like office space, like set up. I got my little like shrines and stuff. Like I made a curtain out of all my scarves. Got some hats up on the wall. Got my lights set up. This computer set up has like the really nice mic and the pro camera and stuff. But there's no point dragging it back and forth for just a short period of time. So, anyways, there's that. And yeah, so a few days after I got back from Japan, my next online class started. I'm currently teaching digital photography. This is a short summer session, and man, I have done a lot of changes on this, and I'm making an effort to make more instructional videos for this class. I'm using all that video editing stuff that I've learned how to do for my dance videos. I'm putting it to work. Oh, it's a completely different type of project. I mean, like, it's good. I know once I do enough of these that I'll get good at them, and I won't sound so freaking stiff when saying them. I'll figure it out. You know, I could go watch some how-to videos on like with like tips and stuff on how to do this, but I'm an experiential learner, so I'm just gonna learn as I go. I'm just gonna make stuff, and then just slowly improve over time. It used to be that I was the kind of person that would go research the hell out of something. I'd do a whole bunch of research and then execute it like fairly quickly. But these days, I enjoy the process of making and figuring it out. And so only if I have to do I go figure out. Do I go look at other people's videos? And I probably should, but like honestly, I don't want to. So why bother? Maybe one day when I run into an issue that like I really want to solve and I'm having a hard time figuring it out, I'll do it. But like discovery, figuring things out, I'm very do it yourself, and so I love that part of it. But that being said, I haven't got to dance that much lately. I have danced a little bit, but not as much as I would have liked. I did dance a good little bit in Japan, and I'm very proud of myself. It took me a little while. Slowly, the longer I was there, the more out of my shell I came, because the Japanese people are very, very reserved and stuff. So I would like find like little pockets where there weren't many people or where I was out of the way and that sort of thing to dance. And man, I'm proud of myself the last couple of years, just how much I have pushed my boundaries to get more and more comfortable. You know, I still am not where I want to be, but I'm getting there. That being said, if I am in Alabama long enough, I signed up with a talent company several months ago. And anyways, I really want to go be an extra in some films in Georgia, and I'm going to try and squeeze that into the next 2 months while I'm in the South. It'll be super fun. I need to see if there's stuff that films up here in Ohio, but Atlanta, Georgia is a big film place now, and I don't know, man. If I really like the extra thing, I mean, I might stay down there or at least travel down there a little bit more often. But I'm very interested in going and seeing what it's like on an actual film set, and also just doing that. It's weird. All of these things that I was always interested in the past, but that young me and like family and stuff told me was like unrealistic and blah 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 blah. You know what now? Now I'm like f them. I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. Like why not? Like why not give it a try? Like I'm gonna go for it. I have discovered that I do really like, I guess, acting. It's hard because sometimes I don't consider what I do acting because like it feels authentic. Like it feels like I'm actually. I mean, I'm a channeler, so I do channel, but it's different, because it's like I won't be channeling, but it almost feels like I'm channeling because I'm taking on a persona or a mood or an attitude. But I don't know. I'm really curious now. I'm all curious about like the philosophy behind acting. What is acting and not acting? There's part of me that's like, oh man, all these really good actors, oh, they're totally spiritually woke. They're spiritually woke. They're spiritually tapped in, even if it's unconscious. They're spiritually tapped in because they're channeling. They're channeling spirit, man. Like the more that I channel stuff, the more I'm like, yeah, these people are doing that. I don't know if they're conscious of doing that, but they are tapping into that collective energy, that collective consciousness, and pulling through it in order to enter that flow state. And I think that's pretty interesting and fascinating. My spiritual adventures have been pretty awesome. Like plants talk to me, and the planet's been talking to me. Plants, the planet. In Japan, the trees told me that they summoned me there. And, anyways, they had lots of things to say to me. And I've been channeling Gaia a lot more. And I've started this fun project where a lot of my dance videos basically are stories. Like they're stories and I get messages in them and stuff. But I've started this project where I'm captioning some of them and basically like writing out a story, like kind of like loosely based on like experiences I've had or things I've been told and stuff like that. And I'm really excited about it. It's called Aradakuru, which is the name. I thought it meant New Earth way back in the day. It was originally a Sailor Moon inspired text-based RPG that I wrote for me and my friends to play, like back in the early to mid 2000s. Oh man, it was so good. Set in the future, reincarnation, gender issues and love issues and stuff like that. Because basically, a Sailor Moon thing. So the Sailor Scouts were reincarnated in the future in a post-apocalyptic, well, not post-apocalyptic, but basically the world had been wiped out and reset. So it's kind of like a medieval vibe thing, and like some of them are reborn as the opposite gender. Some of them remember their past lives. Some of them don't. It makes some of them crazy. There's a lot of, I've always found reincarnation stories, it's always been something that appeals to me because of the identity crisis. Like, who am I? Who am I? And you know what? It makes sense that I've always been drawn to reincarnation now. I mean, now that I know that, at least I know for myself that reincarnation is real, and the whole identity thing. And Sailor Moon is one of my favorite stories because, okay, so live action Sailor Moon, spoilers, most of you are never going to go watch it. Live action Sailor Moon is the most interesting. They changed the storyline a little bit to really play on the identity crisis and personality changes because, so long story short, Usagi is the reincarnation of the Moon Princess Serenity, like so far into the future. Well, she's reincarnated as a normal girl on Earth so that she can live and love with her people that she cares about. Well, a magical cat Luna finds her and tells her that she's the guardian of the moon, like a warrior for truth and justice and friendship and all that. And she kind of, she's kind of not that happy about it when she finds out. She just wants to be a normal teenage girl. She doesn't want responsibility. She just wants to play and have a good time and all that kind of stuff. So she struggles with this role, which, a lot of people, at least in this culture, US, would think, yay, yes, superpowers. But she's like, no, I just want to be a normal girl. Well, later on, her memories return, and it's discovered that not only is she Sailor Moon, champion of love and justice and stuff, but she's also the reincarnation of the Moon Princess. She didn't know that for herself at first. And the live action is really interesting because when the Moon Princess, right before she died and her mother sent her soul into the future to be reincarnated, there was a big battle, and her true love was like killed, and I'm pretty sure she killed herself because she didn't want to live without him. It was like a Romeo and Juliet thing and stuff. And so, anyways, when that part of her, it's not just that her memories return, it's that persona, that presence returns, and she ain't happy about it in the live action. Like, she's full of rage and pain and stuff. And so live action is really interesting because you've got these very different degrees of whatever. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I find that very interesting myself. And surprisingly, I have not had a huge identity crisis with what memories have come back to me. But I will say the memories that have come back to me, like they've come back softly. We'll say that. And they're softly, and they're not like, even they're like faded memories of like a story from long ago, so they don't overwhelm my sense of reality right now. They're just sort of added to my collective story. And then sometimes when I enter a channeling state, like, they might take over a little bit. But other spiritual adventure stuff. I mean, I've had so many spiritual adventures. That's why I have a whole channel for it. But other spiritual adventure stuff is I've been speaking for like 2 months now. Like, it started to get really strong in Japan, but when I got back from Japan, it's like every day, and now it's like throughout the day. But I started speaking in some supposedly ancient language. I don't know. Spirit keeps telling me it's like Akkadian or Sumerian or some form of one of those languages from that time or something. But it sounds something kind of like, okay, right. Siona kosikana shekasikanea siasukona sikadea. Sokoshikia siatea. Oh, I'm laughing now. Siona konakina shekosina siokosinaki sheoko. Okay, anyways, it sounds something like that. There's lots of freaking S sounds. There's lots of S sounds. I only know what a few of the words actually mean. But generally, like, when they speak through me, sometimes they tell me basically the gist of what they're saying, but sometimes they just speak through me. And I will say, like, if I try and hold it in, it's like I'm holding my breath, and it's uncomfortable. So it's better for me to just let it out. And when it starts flowing, it just kind of pushes out. And sometimes it pushes out so fast that it becomes garbled. But it's a really interesting experience. Like, spiritually speaking, like, I know that this is real for me. But if I wasn't a spiritual person and I was looking at this, I'd be really fascinated with, like, people just start making like random noises, like, what would be the non-spiritual angle of this? I'm curious, like I'm just curious because I'm just always curious about things. What are all the possibilities? But I've been speaking this, and there's definitely like a pattern, and things have meaning and stuff. And anyways, I'm really excited. Like basically, I'm being prepped for my light language. I've been told it's not my light language, which is usually what it is when spiritual people start speaking in some sort of kind of like ancient primal sounding language thing. I'm told this is not mine. Mine is different. Mine is so powerful. They don't trust me with it yet. Anyways. All right, well, I guess I should get back to work. I have lots of work to do. It's taking way longer than I had hoped. And yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get back to Alabama. I thought I was leaving tomorrow, but probably not until the next day. Just going to keep getting pushed, pushed, and pushed. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Life of Carol, my captain's log. All right. Peace, guys. Have a good one.